Hi, my name is Mark Sullivan. I'm the Fire Chief in Falmouth and also the Emergency Management Director in Falmouth. And I just would like to advise folks of the current weather conditions and what's going on. As everyone is probably aware, we're going to be experiencing a rather major snowstorm. We've heard different terminology. We've heard historical. We've heard this. We're hoping it's not quite that bad, but we are preparing, and we'd like people to know what we're doing as far as the town goes. As you see, this room we're in now is set up as the Emergency Operations Center, which is going to go in effect as of in about 5 minutes at 5 p.m. And in addition to the Emergency Operations Center, we have an emergency shelter in place beginning at 6:30 p.m. this evening, and that'll be open until it's deemed not necessary, and that's at Falmouth High School. We will have different ways of getting folks out there. We're hoping people will protect themselves or shelter in place during the storm. And one of the big issues will probably be power outages. So we're hoping people will take some advantages, take advantage of some of the things hopefully they did today and got out, took care of, got some extra food, some water, some batteries and things like that for able to take care of themselves. If you can take care of yourselves for the first 24 or 48 hours during a storm like this, it makes it so much easier as far as the first responders and emergency responses. Let me just backtrack. Some of the things that we've done in preparation of the storm, we are part of the Regional Emergency Planning Committee, and we've been on a conference call starting probably Sunday morning, and since then every few hours, keeping track of what's going on, helping to organize the regional sheltering program, and getting weather updates. Also being in touch with the Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency and other agencies. But some of the things we've done, I said, other than setting up the EOC and setting up the sheltering, is we're trying to get the word out to folks. Again, one of these ways is to be able to take care of yourself for those first 24 or 48 hours. It would be so much easier. We're asking people, I believe the governor has declared a state of emergency and a travel ban starting this evening, asking people to stay off the roads if they don't have to be absolutely on them. That would be make it so much easier for the people plowing the snow removal. And so if there's any questions at this point that I could help out with.
Yeah, I was wondering what the time frame of the storm is going to be like and when we can expect it to start to lessen intensity.
Everything we've heard from the National Weather Service and our local weather gurus that are Frank O'Laughlin with the Regional Emergency Planning Committee is saying that this evening they're expecting the snow we've had earlier today was totally separate from the major storm that's coming, and they're expecting that to begin around 8 p.m. this evening and likely go on through the heavy blizzard conditions, which they're saying blizzard conditions has to be more than 3 hours, limited visibility, and winds of over 35 miles an hour. And we'll be getting that probably from 8 p.m. tonight through probably 2 or 3 p.m. tomorrow. So it's a rather long event, a rather long storm. And then in addition to that, the weather folks are saying we may get banding after that and effectively lasting in through Wednesday morning. So we are expecting a long duration storm. That's going to take its toll on the first responders. It's going to take its toll on the DPW, the people running the plows, because they'll have to end up working shift work eventually, because no one can just stay awake for 48, 72 hours.
Chief, do you have any information on other closures as far as the steamship authority is concerned, or the bridges being closed, or other travel advisories that people need to be worried about?
I honestly don't know about the steamship. I would tend to guess they would probably shut down operations tomorrow if they haven't already, and I honestly don't know that. To close the bridges, we just had a briefing in regards to that at the 4 p.m. conference call. It does take winds, sustained winds of over 75 miles per hour. So they are, our forecast is saying we may have potentially hurricane winds, which over that 75 mile an hour point. But they may be gusts to that effect. And I think to close the bridges, it needs to be 75 miles an hour sustained. But that is a good point. It's going to be a wet, heavy snow. So it's advising people that we can expect power outages, and we will expect trees snapping. It's going to be a heavy, heavy wet snow, so we're just telling people to use caution.
Chief, what's some contact information for folks that may have an emergency during this situation?
Well, naturally, if you have a true emergency, we'd want you to call 911 as you normally would. But we do have, they say the town of Falmouth has their emergency operation center open, which is in this room, and that's going to be staffed as of now until the end of the storm. And that phone number is 508-495-2602. And that could be any general questions, in the event town hall is closed, or they have people have questions, or questions regarding the storm. We get questions from emergency questions to people concerned about when the trash is going to be picked up. So that number is a good number because the EOC is in touch with all other town departments. So we can hopefully answer any questions that people may have during the storm, questions about sheltering. Tonight we're planning on having transportation to the shelters if people wanted to get there before the storm. We're offering a bus service between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. And then after 10 p.m., it would be on an emergency needed basis. We'll have four-wheel drive vehicles. We have some buses lined up to take care of that right now, preliminary transportation, but we do have some four-wheel drive vehicles if need be to get people around. I guess the steamship is canceled all trips to Nantucket, and Martha's Vineyard is limited as of today, and all ferries will be canceled tomorrow. All right, well, we just ask people to use caution and use common sense and look out for your neighbors. Thank you.